going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Appreciate you guys tuning in for another video. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future videos. You know, we're pumping out 3 videos a week right now, so we don't want you to miss out on any of those videos. So make sure you're subscribed and got all the notifications and everything turned on so you know as soon as we drop a video. But if you watched the last video, or I don't know when this video will drop. If you watched the channel recently, you've seen that we were packing to go bass fishing in China. And in doing so, it really got me thinking, and I kind of stumbled onto a bait that I haven't really used in years. I kind of got away from using it, but I was thinking about baits that I can use for multiple things. I was trying to pack light heading over to China, and I didn't want to bring very specific baits, or baits that really only did one thing. And that's when I stumbled onto this bait that I used to use all the time. I'll give you a hint, Yamamoto makes it. And I'm just curious. So I need you guys to comment down below when the last time that you heard of or fished this bait we're about to talk about is. So that's my question to you. Make sure you drop it in the comments. But if you guys are ready, let's just jump in, and we're going to go through one of my favorite baits that I haven't used in quite a few years. So like I said, I was looking for baits to take to China that had multiple uses. And this one right here fits that mold perfectly. And I bet you haven't heard of or used this model of Senko in quite some time. And that is the Swim Senko. So he's got the Senko body, but he's got a paddle tail on the back. And this bait right here, man, I used to fish this all the time and catch so many fish on this. I mean, this thing is such a very versatile little bait. So right off the bat, I mean, you can just throw it like a worm, like a curly tail worm, a ribbon tail worm, anything like that. Just Texas rig him with look at that, I got a hook I cut off right there. So you can just, I always like to go on the tail down side. You can just Texas rig him with, with a bullet weight, a tungsten weight up there, and fish him just like this. And, drag him on the bottom. You can swim him. So this was kind of the original swimming worm that I threw. Now there's like the speed worm, the speed Senko that kind of has more of the vibe, ultra vibe kind of tail on it rather than a paddle tail that kicks. But this was the first swimming worm that I ever threw, and I used to throw this thing around all the time. Honestly, it's made of the Senko plastic, so you could throw this weightless and just kind of swim it right along the surface. But I would always add just a little bullet weight, you could, like an 1/8 ounce, a 1/16 ounce, just a little bit to help keep it under the water, and just swim this thing, just a slow retrieve. And he's down there just swimming, and it looks just like some of the needlefish is really what I was trying to imitate with this. I mainly was throwing this at like the Potomac River and the Chesapeake Bay, kind of swimming them through the grass back in the day. But like I said, you could also put like a 1/4 ounce, 3 ounce weight on there, throw them out and kind of drag them through brush piles and stuff like that. So that right there is one way to rig this guy right here, but there were so many other ways I used to fish this worm, and it's crazy that I forgot about him. I'm glad I found him. I just got on, baits.com and ordered me some fresh ones. So I'm gonna actually have to build another box, and I'm gonna keep these in the boat next year, because I'm looking for baits that, I can do multiple things with and catch fish regardless of the conditions. But another way, that I used to fish this bait a lot was I would actually use them as a swim bait. So I would just take a pair of scissors and cut them off right there at the back. So now he's a very thin-bodied swim bait. And just take, a ball head, jig head, rig him straight up the back like that, slide him up there, and now this is a very slim-bodied swim bait. Now there's so many specific swim baits and everything designed for exactly this, but this was a bait that, you know, I could just trim down a little bit, and that's exactly what I wanted for this trip I'm taking, and that's kind of how I stumbled back into it. But, you know, you could literally cut them down, put them on a jig head, and just throw them just like that. You know, another great option is on the back of a jig, you know, like a swim jig or even a chatterbait. So I got a jig right here. You know, if you're wanting to just kind of throw a swim jig trailer that really makes the bait roll, this paddle tail on the back thumps so hard, it really makes a swim jig roll. So you can take, you know, cut it off at the same place, thread him up on your jig, and now he makes that swim jig roll as he kicks. Excellent little swim jig trailer. And then same goes for a chatterbait. You know, I really love the Zako, but, you know, before I was on the Zako, I really liked using a paddle tail style trailer. And that's exactly what this is right here. So you can push him up on your favorite chatterbait, and now you've got that right there ready to go, just like that. So the Swim Senko has been an excellent addition to the lineup. We got a truck pulling up. Let me get back with you. Okay, we're back. It was just the FedEx man delivering actually some Trocar stuff. I got a little Trocar order in. He was delivering, so had to go talk to the good old FedEx man. That's always it's always a treat. He delivers so many packages that I feel like we need to always engage with them every time we can. So like I was saying, the good old Swim Senko, it's a bait that you can do so many different things with, and it is a straight up fish catcher. So I'm excited that I found these and kind of remembered about these, because like I said, I had kind of forgot about them and moved on to more, you know, technique specific baits. Like I said, like the Speed Senko, the Zako, things that are just designed for one specific thing. They do it really well, but packing for China, I wanted some baits that I could do multiple things with, and that's where I found these. So I am pumped about these. I want to know, when's the last time you fished a Swim Senko? I'm curious, because for me, it's been quite a few years. It's probably been 6 years maybe since I've rigged up a Speed Senko. So it's been a little while for me. I'm curious, have you guys fished it recently? Have you fished it at all? Have you ever even heard about the Swim Senko? I'm curious. So drop it in the comments down below. And before we move on, actually, let me say, this is the 5-inch version. This is the one I use the most, but there is a few different sizes. So there is, let me see if I have any here. There's a big one, and there's a smaller one. So I have a 5.5-inch, but this is substantially larger. So that is a much thicker bodied, and let's do a little comparison here. So lay these down next to each other. You can see this is the 5.5 and this is the 5-inch. So it's substantially bigger. And then let's add in the, this one is the 3.5-inch, but this one's designed more for a trailer. So honestly, you know, this is one that you really don't have to trim down. You could just rig him straight up onto your swim jig or chatterbait or whatever. But there you can see pretty closely the three size differences between the three sizes of Swim Senkos. But like I said, make sure you drop the comments down below, leave all the likes and comments and all that good stuff. Make sure you're subscribed, and until then, we'll see you guys next time.